This is BAIT, Life Outside the Federal Witness Protection Program.
The FBI, they just can't tell you your son is dead. There's procedures for that. Hey, it's Susan. Welcome to tonight's episode of Keep the Bad Guys Away. That came from Robert, a respiratory therapist at Edinburgh Regional Medical Center on the night shift. Apparently, he is retired from the NYPD. So, and he heard this and he was just like, what in the damn hell? And I'm like, yeah, Robert, they're just telling me that my son is dead. He's like, oh no, there are procedures for that. And he was just like shaking his head and, he was like, whoa. Well, I'm like, you can look at this web link I have, Robert, and you tell me what the heck you think about this whole thing. Maybe you can get a second opinion from your law enforcement friends up there at NYPD. So anyway, but now get this. See, this is what happened. I had called the McAllen, Texas FBI, and I'm like, guys know anything about my son? And they're like, Susan, your son is dead. And I'm like, dead? I'm thinking to myself, what the damn hell? And they're like, you got to go work at the hospital tonight? And I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, I'm going to lay down. And they're like, okay, we'll call you back later and see how you're doing. And I went and I laid down and I'm like, I was like such shock. I couldn't even cry. I was just like, what in the fucking goddamn hell is going on? And, and I get up, I take a bath, they call me back, or are you going to be okay? And I'm starting thinking, what the goddamn fucking hell you going to do? So I go into the hospital, I'm working night shift, 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. in the ICU, like I said, at Edinburgh Regional Medical Center. And I'm telling the nurses there, I'm like, dude, if I'm just a little frazzled, or something, or if I look distracted, just put me back on track, nurses, because the FBI just told me my son is dead this afternoon. And that's why I said, Robert heard that, and he was just like, what in the damn hell? So that's why I said, you know what? The FBI, not following policies and procedures, what's new? This letter from Senator Dianne Feinstein talks about the FBI. It's dated January 17th, 2014. And you know what? I said this up to the International Criminal Court. They're very accommodating, the International Criminal Court. You can just send stuff to them via email. Much more accommodating than U.S. courts. You got to make 4 copies and come up with, and you got to know the law and stuff like that. And if you don't put the right law to the situation, then everything's screwed. But can you believe that? The FBI just tells me my son is dead a few hours before I have to go into work at a hospital. No victim services, no follow-up, nothing. They're just like, oh, Susan, your son is dead. So, and everybody wonders why I hate the FBI. Anyway, that's tonight's episode to Keep the Bad Guys Away. I'll see you next time.